dear friends, now we have a very exciting keynote presentation from the great company hosting us in their building today, from the Tieto Corporation. He's going to be talking about the modern customer is now forcing brands to rethink their businesses. As we see huge changes in customer behavior, how do you keep up? How do you stay relevant? And how do you rethink your business to provide great customer experiences in the future? He is the head of CEM, so Customer Experience Management, and Foresight. He is Paul Jones Winlund. Welcome!
I'm really passionate about CX. Are you guys passionate about CX? Have we got any gamers here? No one gaming? Right. When I was 14, I got my first computer, and in those days there wasn't internet, so we had to make cables to connect computers together so we could game with each other. When I got my first job, they had all these LANs, so we could connect many computers together so we could game together. And then when I was 26, I joined my first clan. A clan is where you're gamers who go together and you structure yourself like a company. We were 5,000 people. And in those days, if you wanted to join us, you had to go to job interview, but for the clan. Did you believe in what we did? And I remember that we joined a game called Day and Night, and by the time we joined, there was 1 million gamers connected through internet. And we didn't like the way the game was being developed, so we contacted the developers and we said, we need to change. If you want us to stay, we need to change the game. And they said, it's our game. You play our game by our rules, or don't play it at all. So the clan leaders, our elders, they said, this is not good, we need to leave. And then they had meetings with the other clans, and within 2 weeks, 1 million of us, we left the game in 2 weeks. This was before the age of social media. And that's why I realized CX is all about, it's about people. It's about the powering people, and the powering people, how it can drive a business. So this is what I'm going to talk about today, is how do you make the modern customer the engine of your future business model? Right? I'm going to take you on a little journey. Let's have a look. Tell me what you see. It's okay to smile or laugh. I think this is funny. Something's happening. Right. What did we see? Some of the world's most famous non-existing brands. What did we feel? Confusion? But if they're non-existing, how can we be confused? It's quite simple. We see them, and it triggers emotions. Emotions that we have with real brands in real life. And then suddenly the rational thought comes and says, whoa, hang on, what you saw is not correct, so please erase that emotion. And your body's saying, well, I have the emotion, so leave me with my emotion. Yeah? And really what we're saying is that emotions are so much stronger than any rational marketing, branding, or reason for a service that we burden onto our customers. So then the question becomes a little bit harder. How do we make the experience key? Yeah? The modern customer. For the last 3 years, social media has helped the modern customer to fulfill the way they want to be treated. And what they say is, couldn't really give a shit about your brand. Yeah? That's where we are today. To understand the modern customer, if we look at Just go back to 2010. Where did we put our time? Yeah, a little bit of social media, but then we would actually contact the brand's channels and we would say, is this a good idea or should I go for your competition? And we could have a dialogue. If we go to 2017, they still come to our channels, but they already know what they want because they make their minds up before they come to our channels, and they know what they want and they know what they're prepared to pay. Okay, what do modern customers think of loyalty? Bearing in mind that 90% of all the loyalty programs out there are based on, if I get my hooks into you, how much can I get you to buy more from me? Fuck loyalty. I want to be served. That's what it's about. Okay, so if this is the case, how do we build loyalty now? If they don't want to take part of our loyalty programs. Yep, we need to redefine loyalty. Loyalty today is about time. How much am I prepared to give up my time in Facebook, social media, and come to your channel? Because this is how I spend most of my day. Yeah? Who do customers trust? Let's have a look. Some examples. Okay, US Department of Energy. Sounds pretty serious. Yeah? SERV, which is an EU initiative for solar energy. Pretty serious. Awesome Innovation Farm Machine. Cool. Who would you trust? Let's see. Energy Talks, US Department of Energy, 406 views. SERV, 169 views. Awesome Farm Machine, 2.4 million views. Now, who would you trust? Not the idiots going to the other channels. I'll go for the 2.4 million because they can't be wrong. Yeah? Right, Just Do It. Who knows of Just Do It? Nike? Yep. Training with Vilma. I don't know. I never heard of her before. But the thing is, she's engaging you in training. She puts up YouTube films 3 times a week. Nike, I don't know how many millions they're pumping into their marketing campaigns. The interesting part is that Vilma on the Swedish market has a bigger market penetration than Nike does. And there's over thousands of Vilmas for any type of interest out in social media. So the power is actually in the people. This is what social media is doing. And they are raising the bar of what they expect from your brands, from your school, hospital, your service. Yeah? And if we look at in B2B also, manufacturing, for example, if you're a purchasing manager signing off a deal for 200 million euros, now you're not going to do that on that, what do I feel? You're going to have researchers. But what we know now, if we look at 2014, the largest group of researchers giving the advice to the purchaser is between 18 to 34. They are the modern customers. We are the modern customers. We don't take any bullshit anymore. That's where we are. Right. Brands are really struggling. This is a little test I usually do when I talk to management teams. And I say, okay, of everything that I'm talking about now, how many of you agree on that this is the new world? Yeah? Do you agree on it or not? No? Yeah, okay. 90%. How many of you have started experimenting or have gone so far that you launch a new service that is to address the modern customer with new values? Not connected to your old values, but an old value that you offered new. How many of you have started that? Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, 60% normally. And then I say, how many of you now have started finding new KPIs to measure your business success from this new value? And how many of you are trying to start reducing the old classical KPIs that restrict you from being innovative? Yeah, probably down to 30%. Okay, how many of you have a long-term strategy to make the modern customer the engine in your future business model? that you can take up to your management team and say, this is it. Yeah? I know you are. You're going to talk later. This is where the room goes silent. So what are you saying? We're up shit creek? We need to figure this one out. Right. Okay, how many of you, or raise your hands if you see that your market spend in digital channels is on the increase year after year? Yeah. And how many of you are seeing that your conversion rate is going down? Yeah? You see the pattern? I'm going to say that we're in a paradigm shift. UK-US market, 2018, 24% of all the brands are going to freeze their marketing budget. They're going to say, we're not going to spend, we're not going to increase it anymore until we figure out how the hell we're going to turn this around. 2017, this year, 14%. Last year was 3%. So in 3 years, it's going from 3% to 24%. That's a paradigm shift. Companies are struggling. We don't even know where we're going to make our money in the future. That's pretty serious. I believe that we're in a paradigm shift. I believe that we have to go from the push and sell, trying to sell as much as possible, to a model where we create a better relationship, where we engage them. And when we engage them, they will be with us. And when they want something, we will serve them. We will serve them so good that they will go out and tell their friends about it. This is the new models that we're looking for. And we do see that's a megatrend. Community economy. Did you know that Facebook, YouTube, Google is a community economy? Because it's all driven about what we do. That we go out, we share, we like, we spread it. That's a community economy. Why should Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all of these, why should they get all the glory? Because you are the ones working hard to deliver good services. The question is, how can we bring it back to become stronger in our own business models? So I'm going to give some practical implementations of Engage. Let's look at Engage, what that means. Okay. In Sweden, we have something called Vardagspuls. It's Sweden's largest community for health, food, well-being, because it kind of is interlinked. And to get the growth, they said, well, we have some great content. Why don't we help others who want our content? Yeah, so they partnered up with one of the largest newspapers, 2.3 million readers. And if they like your content, what's going to happen? They're going to come to you. And this is how they can build the largest community, where we engage. They don't sell things, they just engage them. Who do you think is behind this initiative? The equivalent of your value. What? A goddamn milk company. Why? Well, they used to own 100% of the milk shelf in the shops, and then the shop said, no, you can only have 15% because we want our brands to be there, and we want to take in competition. All right, what are we going to do? So the board talks to the managing director and say, what are we going to do? I don't know. I don't even know who my customers are. I don't know what triggers them. I don't know what they want. What the hell are we going to do? So someone came up with a bold idea. All right, let's start putting value out there, give them a great experience, and in return, we will start understanding what their needs are, what they're doing. That means that we will then have a foundation to build our credibility, and because they will know their customers better than the stores, they can go back to the stores and say, well, we know the customers better, so we want more of the milk shelf. But the other thing is, if we look from a community economy perspective, if this now is becoming Sweden's largest community, they have a larger customer base than the stores themselves. So why should they not sell themselves? They can find things that are relevant for their customers. Yeah? So they go from understanding the customers to making it into part of their business model. What about serving? Yeah, we're talking to a little hamburger company. and they're looking at how are we going to grow because we are selling hamburgers. Well, for number one, if you're going to do that, do it well. Don't just sell hamburgers. Give them, your customers, the best goddamn services connected to your hamburger sales. So, being a parent, okay. Feed me now button. I'm walking along the street with my kids, and they're screaming, they're hungry, we need something. So I just push the button, and it will ask me, okay, is it the whole family, or who are you? And I can say, well, it's the whole family. The kids are hungry. Okay, do you want your normal order, or do you want something else? No, let's just give me my normal order. Okay, walk 200 meters to the right, come in, and you'll get your food. I walk in, the Wi-Fi will then detect that we walk in with the family. Someone hands me a tray, I sit down, we can eat. I don't even pay, because I have a wallet with them. This is how they help me as a parent to get a better experience. And if I get that every time, I am pretty certain that I will buy more hamburgers from them. But the thing is, if they do this right, and they don't just do it for parents, they do it for teenagers, and do it for any life situation, because they have a lot of customers, the consequence will be that they will have a very, very satisfied customer base that is very pro them, which means that they have the foundation for a community economy, a new type of business through great services. It's all down to the experience. So if we put these together, because I'm a gamer, I need an example from the gaming world. Started already in 2003, before social media. Who's heard of Steam? No. Ooh. There are some gamers here. Right. Steam is the world's largest social platform for gamers. Okay, social platform means that if I play a game, I have my friends, I use the Steam platform to communicate with so they give me great tools to communicate with my friends when we're gaming. And then if I go to another game, I can tell my friends I'm gone into this game now. So it gives me better value. And then this became so popular that the community grew, and therefore they went to gamers and to game developers and said, well, we have a great community. Why don't you let them try your game and they can rate your game? And they can help you develop it. So then that means that the community, then I will get the game, it's an alpha game, and then we can start gaming, we give feedback to the developers, meaning that we're affecting the way the game is being developed, meaning that when they launch the game, they probably already have a customer base of 2-3 million people, because they're letting me be a part of it. And the interesting part is that I logged on the other night, there was 9.3 million people, but only 2.3 million are gaming. What are the others doing? They're socializing, they're building, they're modding, they're adding things to the game, and then they're distributing it to their friends. They're part of the community. Right. Do you think they sell games here? This has now become the world's largest platform for gaming distribution. Over 125 million customers. From a small, independent actor in the gaming industry. Why? Well, for Steam, it's always been about the business. Always about the business. But done right, because for our customers, it's always been about the experience. And if they want to do more business and it destroys the experience, they realize that that's not going to go. And thanks to our belief in customer experience, we can satisfy both. This is what I call a true example of how the modern customer becomes the engine of your future business model. This was 2003. So the question to you then will be, what can you do to start engaging your customers in a different way? Right. Thank you.
Very disappointing. You promised me that you would use the 30 minutes completely, and you only used 24.
I'm talk like a rabbit.
Which means that we have time for questions,
yes.
which you again told me we would not have. Very disappointing.
but you can.
Is of course interesting from the perspective of the impact of some of these personal brands, these personal trainers who have their own their own sites in terms of their social media impact. But in terms of the money that they're making, actually, I think that the number one money maker on YouTube is from Sweden. PewDiePie.
Yeah.
PewDiePie has 52 million followers, and he makes 17 million a year from advertising.
Yeah,
but still, we're looking at on one side, people who are fulfilling customer expectations for free and not making that much money, and then you have the corporations that are not doing so well. You have great cases of great companies that are not getting any kind of attention, but still they're making a lot more money. How do you blend these worlds in a mutually beneficial way where everybody can make more money?
Sure. I mean, one example is DNB, Norway's largest bank. Did you know that when they go out on social media, they have a totally different image? It's all about fun. It's about giving away tickets to football games, to music festivals. And they have 370,000 likes with activity level of 14 to 17%, meaning they get an organic reach of over 1 million people a week, which means that they're giving away a lot to the people and they're spreading it, giving them organic reach, which means if they wanted to reach in paid 1 million people on average, they would spend a lot of money in marketing, so they're redirecting it to giving them a value, which means that it's not DNB saying that DNB is a great bank, it's actually customers who are saying, I love this bank.
Great example.
So that is... Oh, by the way, I have an example for you now. Not that one, but already in 2005, there was a game called EverQuest. You could play the game, chat with your friends, and then you go, oh, I'm hungry. Then you could press a button. 15 minutes later, Pizza Hut came and delivered to your door in Los Angeles. That was 2005. And we're struggling now, today, to do things, simple things like that. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. And we see that Tieto is not really the same company it used to be. Really very, very progressive, very, very future-looking company, as many of our companies are transforming rapidly. As Kesko we saw only 2 years ago, out of the question to be, selling food on the internet, and now already, promoting it. So that these are the great steps forward for many of us.